taking cover immediately. Just don't take chances. There's no reason to risk this. So if you are within the warning area, you should take precautions. And that means by far the best place to go is ground level, below ground level, into a basement, and stay there until the warning threat is done. Make sure you stay away from outside walls and windows. An interior room, if there's no basement to get into, then a lot of times it's an interior hallway. It can be a bathroom, but again, stay away from those outside windows. By all means, stay away from second floors and the like as well.
Yeah, definitely what we're seeing here. Like Bob mentioned, yeah, you don't want to take risks with this kind of system here because it's dark outside. This is one of those systems where the tornado, if it is making it to the ground, it would be rain wrapped, extremely hard to see. So if you are in Lafayette County in the severe thunderstorm and the tornado warning, make sure that you are taking shelter. Underground is the best. If you don't have a basement, go to an interior room, maybe have a pillow just in case, to cover your head. If you're in a mobile home, if you're able to get somewhere sturdier, that is definitely advised. And yep, so the National Weather Service is just continuing their warning. Also warning for 3/4 inch hail, like we talked about, for Lafayette County, as this system continues to move to the northeast. So Wyoda seeing that system right now or very soon. Argyle also in the path there within the next about 10 minutes or so. If you're not seeing that already, starting to see a little bit of rain with that system. And yeah, as Bob has talked about, it's, you know, we have with these kinds of systems, you have kind of a line of thunderstorms. But if we start to see some notches in there, which kind of can see just a few little notches. It's not like a perfect line, obviously. That's when it just becomes a little more unsettled, and that's where we typically can see some rotation there. So some funnel clouds very possible with that as well. I do want to go ahead and zoom out just really quickly just to talk about everybody else dealing with storms, because there are still some storms into Iowa County, over towards the Wisconsin River, close to Sauk City, up towards Portage. Those are strong storms with some strong winds, but not strong enough to have a severe thunderstorm warning. We have also seen, if you were not on our Facebook live stream, we've also seen that a lot of areas are without power. This includes the Linden Station area just northwest of the Dells. So that is something that we are monitoring, and that was not even from a severe storm. It was from strong winds along with some heavy rain, potentially also some lightning developed with that as well. And then really quickly before I send it back to Bob, what we're going to be just kind of talking about over these next 15 minutes or so, because the tornado warning does extend until 8 p.m. right now. Potentially, I would just kind of be on alert, maybe the New Glarus, Belleville area, if this is to continue the way that it is in the kind of the northwestern part of Greene County, potentially over towards the southwestern part of Dane County as well. We're going to kind of have to watch that system over towards Moscow into parts of Iowa County. So we're still kind of watching the rotation there, right, Bob?
That's right. We'll just try to analyze this further, try to pinpoint it. It's really a challenge when you get this far away from the radar site, which is to the east of Madison. But Alexis, if you can just do a manual loop, and let's try to look at step by step as the warning came in. And it's right about here we're starting to see the notching right here. This is what prompted the warning. This is when we have the strongest rotation. This is an ideal hook, a hook echo, which on the rain pattern, the precipitation pattern, we're looking for. But now let's let it just go through a little bit more, and you can see how we lost that that notching and that hook. It's there, but now we're kind of losing it a little bit. To be on, the Weather Service is looking at this, the National Weather Service as well, and they have experts that really know their stuff, and so we'll trust their judgment to keep the tornado warning in effect. But you can see they're trimming back the warning. It does not it's not in effect now for central portions of Lafayette County. It's more in the northeast quadrant of the county where we have that warning. Can we zoom in a little bit more on that, Alexis, to see if there's any communities? There's Wyoda, which is experiencing the strong rainfall, and that's what this red indicates. It indicates very heavy rain. You can have some hail in this, but this red usually does not indicate hail. You need some stronger reflectivity than that. You can see the rainfall reflectivity. When you get more to purple, that's when I'm really concerned that that you could have some hail contained with this. It's mainly rainfall. We could have some strong wind gusts because this whole area is under severe thunderstorm warning. It's just not the tornado threat that we have. It's also the straight line wind threat, and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour could cause some damage as well as it continues to track off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. It's really moving fast. But if you're in Darlington, you're in the clear right now, and it'll continue to track this whole line as we progress through the next 15 minutes or so. And it'll be interesting to see whether the National Weather Service deems it worthy to extend the warning farther to the northeast and include portions of Greene County, maybe even Dane County, which would be next in line. But they have not done so yet, but it's moving very quickly. Keep that in mind. It's going to be tracking your way if you're within its path in a matter of minutes with the speed of about 50 miles per hour. We're going to take a look at a tower cam and to show you what it looks like here in the Madison area. And this is our tower cam. There's the belt line. So we're looking kind of to the west, and it does show a threatening sky. We had an initial line of thunderstorms move through not that long ago. We're kind of in the break. You can see the lightning that's taking place with the storms that are farther to the west. But we're going to see another round of thunderstorms come into the Madison area in the next half hour to 45 minutes. And some of them, these storms could really pack a punch. We'll see if they hold together enough to produce a severe weather threat. But we're under a tornado watch in Madison until 10 p.m., so that threat definitely is there.
Yeah, speaking of that, Bob, we were just talking about Dane County. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, so they have not continued or at least extended the tornado warning just yet, but a severe thunderstorm warning. This is mainly for those winds up to 60 miles an hour, but this does include southeastern Iowa County and southwestern Dane County. And let's just go ahead and take a look at that new warning. Of course, we're still following the severe, the tornado warning, but this does include now the Monroe area. This is just southwest of of Madison. Let's take off radar really quickly just so we can see where this has extended to. So this does include Monroe, New Glarus, Belleville, Mount Horeb, Blanchardville, even into the southeastern part of Iowa County as well. So severe thunderstorm warning issued ahead of this, and this goes until, let me just make sure I have the correct timing, 8:45 p.m. So it's been extended through 8:45. So that's almost an hour, just because of this system isn't moving as quickly as it once was. So just showing you your watches and warnings that are up there right now without the radar, a nice little square there. And let's go ahead and zoom in and get some more communities popping up here. Browntown, Moscow, Perry, into very close to Waldwick as well, New Glarus, that area, seeing this as well. Exeter over towards Primrose there, all of those areas, very close to Barneveld as well, seeing this severe thunderstorm warning. And let's go ahead and put radar on again. Again, this is being warned for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. That is the main concern with this system. It's also likely going to be very loud with a lot of rain. Ponding will be an issue there. A lot of lightning and thunder with those strong winds, and potentially we could see some small hail as well, probably close to about pea-sized hail with that system. So we are still watching that.
Okay, thank you, Alexis. So we're 10 minutes away from the ending of the tornado warning area. So it looks like the National Weather Service is going to let this tornado warning play out and just expire on its own. But as Alexis and I have been analyzing it, it appears, well, let's see. No, they're going to put out a new warning.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Okay.
No, yep, they were.
I wonder if it's for right here.
Yeah, they were. They're just talking about. The main thing with this is that shear. There's just a lot of shear in the atmosphere here, and that's just going to allow for different wind directions to play into it. So, yeah, they do have this tornado warning. This does now include parts of Iowa, Greene, and even a sliver of Dane County.
Right, it includes New Glarus, Moscow, and far southwestern portions of Dane County. But you brought up a good point, Alexis. There's just so much rotation within the atmosphere. We call it wind shear. It's been very strong all day long. So even though this is not the perfect scenario for severe weather, this wind shear is just so strong, it's overcoming any deficiency and producing rotation. So we're seeing, matter of fact, it looks like this thunderstorm cell might have just regenerated a little bit and starting to pick a little bit of a punch. Why don't we look at velocity data and see if we can see what the National Weather Service is looking at.
Okay, I'm starting to see a little something there.
Yeah. There's definitely, well, it went away with that scan, but in this area here, would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think we definitely see some rotation, and with this warning here, it is a radar indicated rotation. There are no confirmed tornadoes, but we do need to still treat it like a tornado warning, of course, because it has the capability to drop a tornado to the ground.
Yeah, so it looks like Argyle, you're right under the gun at the present time. We have this tornado warning that it looks like they're just going to let this one drop out on its own, or they might expire it. But this is the new warning that we'll really focus our efforts and our analysis on. That includes, you see this red line here, that gets into southwestern Dane County. And it does include Argyle, Blanchardville, New Glarus. You're in this. And why don't we put communities within its path?
Yeah, let me
Alexis,
switch back to Doppler radar and get that going for you.
Yeah, a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rainfall. Ponding is definitely a concern along with that threat. Straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour are a threat as well. But here are communities that you are under the gun. It includes Perry at 7:53, so literally right now in Perry. Mount Horeb at 8:04, Springdale at 8:09, Exeter at 8:14, Verona at 8:21, Fitchburg at 8:28, and also Shorewood Hills at 8:32. The city of Madison about 8:37, so we're talking about 40 minutes away from reaching the southwest side of Madison. But you can see there's Verona, there's Exeter. Those are communities that are within the thunderstorm threat. Even though the tornado warning itself does not go off towards Verona, we just want to show you the long-term threat that will be happening over about the next 50 minutes or so. That does not necessarily include the tornado warning as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that warning until 8:30. Let's go ahead and clear this up here so we can just kind of look at the big picture. So we were on Facebook Live for a little bit talking about this second line of thunderstorms, and of course it is producing that severe weather right now. Tornado warning now issued for parts of Greene, Dane, and Iowa County, still in Lafayette County as well. The Argyle and Blanchardville area under the gun or very close to being that way. I do want to just go ahead and highlight though those areas, Grant, Richland, Crawford County in the clear, even Dodgeville now in the clear, so that's good news with that. I even think Reedsburg is starting to become in the clear there as well, but it's Madison and Janesville that we cannot give that all clear to just yet. Jefferson County and Walworth County, a lot of people have been asking if that tornado watch is going to be extended. Right now with just talks with the National Weather Service, it does not look like that is going to be the case. We are just watching these storms currently run its course, and of course they are doing that here, moving to the east and northeast. 7:55 your current time, and just again showing you the tornado warning goes until 8:30 p.m. the severe thunderstorm warning going until 8:45 p.m. radar indicated rotation. That does not mean that we have reports of a tornado, and frankly I don't even think we want reports of a tornado right now, just because it is so unsafe to be outside right now, because you likely would not be able to see a tornado. It's dark outside, and with this specific system, the way it's set up, it's likely going to be rain wrapped, so very hard. So I would advise you to not even try to go outside and look at what's happening right now, just because of this specific system here, but we do have radar indicated rotation a little bit above the surface, so likely seeing some funnel clouds in those areas. The only reports, if you are in the tornado warning right now, the only reports we would want from you is that you're in your basement and what you can hear right now. But we just need to treat it as a regular tornado warning. You can actually see, I believe, some lightning in parts of our tower cam. That is a live look. I don't know if we can take that live look full from our tower cam. We do have some lightning. This is in West Madison, looking west. I mean, look at those clouds moving very, very quickly. You can tell that something's about to happen. We're actually quiet in Madison right now. However, that's going to be changing very soon. There's that lightning. You can see there close to the surface. It is in the distance, but it's on the way for Madison. So the Madison area, if you're not seeing rain right now, I think Middleton might be seeing a little bit of rain at the moment, but for the most part, we are dry. I'm going to go ahead and if we can come back to our radar here, zooming into Madison, a little bit of rain, but the second round of this system is not here just yet. And again, I do want to go ahead and zoom in on the areas that are seeing a tornado warning. This includes Blanchardville, Argyle, Perry. Those areas need to be in their safe spot right now. Even New Glarus over towards Belleville, Primrose. Also, if you're not in your safe spot, you should be very soon. Monticello as well, very close to this system. This is some heavy, heavy rain, a lot of lightning strikes with this system, and we're going to continue to watch this move slowly but surely to the east and northeast. You can even see just to our south, just butting up against Greene County. Of course, Greene County, parts of Greene County under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. But still with this system, this is a very unorganized system, but it's providing enough energy to create some issues out there. But there is a severe thunderstorm warning in northern Illinois, butting up to Greene County, so we could potentially see that extended into the area as well. Zooming out, looking at the big picture, there's quite a bit going on. This line stretches pretty far into the kind of the western part of Illinois. A lot of lightning with this system, but once this line is done, we are done with this system as well. Looking at your tornado warning yet again. So New Glarus, this does include you. The Belleville area, it's very close to. So if you were in this tornado warning, make sure you are taking shelter. We've got some heavy, heavy rain with this system, but once it's done, we'll be done with the severe threat for the night. So I can go ahead and safely say Dodgeville, Darlington, I believe as well, out in the clear now, Mifflin, Platteville, Boscobel, those areas to the west. So let's go ahead and grab my little clicker here. This area right here that's not seeing any rain, that's done. You guys are done for the night. Clear in the clear there. It's Janesville, Madison, Rock, Greene County. Still that's dry at the moment, but we're still tracking a severe threat. Right, Bob?
That's right. And we're going to try to pinpoint where this possible rotation is a little bit more. First of all, we're going to look at there's velocity. And if we can put a little bit of history on this, this might help us track where that rotation is and what the National Weather Service is seeing. Okay. If you can bring me up, full screen, and play that out again, Alexis, and see if there's something that we can pinpoint. There's here.
I'm kind of seeing something a little east of Argyle.
Yeah.
And that's the newest scan that I'm seeing.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of red in there, indicating that. Yeah, I would agree with you. There is where the threat is most likely. Can we just zoom in even farther on that and see if we can pick up? Let's see what roads and highways. You can see we have Highway 78 here. Here's Argyle, so it is definitely to the east of Argyle to a certain point. We're seeing a couple of spots here where there's possible rotation, so it's really hard to discern this completely, but definitely this is the general area. We're getting new scans, and you can see it carrying up in this area that's, again, almost due east of Argyle. We have no communities that are popping up there, but it's north of Highway 81 and east of Highway 76. That's where this possible rotation is occurring. And that's within the tornado warning area, and it will be moving closer to New Glarus as we continue to progress through this warning that continues until 8:30. Yeah,
Yeah, if it continues on its path right now, it would be kind of heading towards or near the New Glarus area. So
right,
that's the
here.
community I would definitely tell to shelter right now.
Why don't we look at reflectivity and see if that helps support what we're looking at for the wind velocity, and put a little history on that as well.
Yeah.
So that's the last scan right there.
Yeah, little
Okay.
notch, but nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the most significant notch is down here, but what we're looking at is in this area. So reflectivity is really not showing a lot. There's a little bit in here, a little bit in here. But as you mentioned before, it could just very well be rain wrapped and not showing up on the edges of the severe thunderstorm. The wind velocity is showing it more right in the center of heavy rainfall, and that can definitely be the case. The wind shear, the rotation of the winds with height, are so strong with this that this could very well be producing at least a funnel cloud, maybe even a tornado, but we just don't know because it's dark out there. It's really hard to get confirmation, and it's just that kind of system. Some of these systems are really hard to analyze, and this is one of them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was talking about it before on the Facebook Live. This is an extremely interesting setup. We don't see something like this very often. Usually when one line of storms comes through, the second line doesn't pose much of a threat, but of course that was not the case this time around. So yeah, this is a very interesting setup here. I'm just going to let's go ahead and get a track of what's going to be happening over for those communities that we were just talking about. And I'm going to put velocity back on just so we can kind of take a look at the little notches that we're kind of watching here. So let's pull up our tracking device and go ahead and kind of track it into Madison if it continues its ways here. So taking a look at this for you here. So 8:07 in forward, so very, very close. It looks like we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, which I will talk about in just a moment. In the next 10 minutes, New Glarus, so make sure you're in your safe spot right now. Same goes for Springdale, Belleville, even into the Verona area as well. Madison, we've got a little bit more time, probably about 20 to 30 minutes or so. But I do want to go ahead and take a look at that new warning that we have issued. This now includes parts of Rock County. So this includes the communities of Brodhead, Evansville. I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at the current verbiage from the National Weather Service. This is going until 8:45 p.m., primarily for those wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So again, we're continuing to see those strong winds, and it does look like I believe all of these severe thunderstorm warnings they still have that tornado possible tag, which is actually what the original severe thunderstorm warning had before this tornado warning, a tornado possible tag, which means that this could be upgraded to a tornado warning. So we will have to watch that very closely, all of those notches there, and we have to take those very seriously because we cannot tell if it's making it to the ground. But if we see rotation, we've got to warn for it. It's dark, it's rain wrapped. If you are in these warnings, don't even try to go outside and tell us what's going on because it's just not safe enough to do so. And I'm going to go ahead and throw our radar back on there just to see what's going on. So right now, let's look at velocity to see if that's okay. So what I'm kind of watching right now, and Bob, let me know if you agree here, but I'm watching kind of in the southeastern part of Lafayette County, and kind of heading into the close to the Monroe area. It's making its way to the northeast, and I think our reflectivity does a pretty good job of showing that as well. There's kind of it's just a very, very interesting setup, don't you think?
I would say so. I think you've kind of hit the spot where there's most likely to be rotation in this challenging analysis anyway. It looks like that is indeed in the area here on the southern flank of the storm. This purple is indicating there could be some possible hail, and hail is a threat. We have multiple threats going on. A possible tornado, we have hail, that could reach 1 inch in diameter, even though that's not the highest threat. We have wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, which can down tree limbs and cause power outages. And we have frequent lightning too. And all this is tracking to the northeast. There's Madison. Madison will be experiencing these storms still a ways out, probably about a half hour to 40 minutes before they reach Madison, but they will. And this is the strongest part of this line that you can see that extends up through Mount Horeb. These are not severe here. The threat is in this particular area. It's clearing out in the western part of the severe thunderstorm warning. So Darlington's well in the clear, but definitely New Glarus is in that threat, and Mount Horeb is right on the doorstep of it as well. And that's in addition, as Alexis mentioned, a new severe thunderstorm warning that covers the rest of Greene County and gets into Rock County too. But the way this is going, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if the warnings are extended up into Dane County. If not a tornado warning, then very possibly a severe thunderstorm warning could be issued before we get out of this threat. But there's definitely an end here. Dodgeville, Darlington, you're in the clear as these storms continue to rapidly track to the east-northeast. And Alexis, did the National Weather Service put a speed on the storms?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. Their current thing now is about 50 miles an hour,
Yeah.
so starting to speed up a little bit. And with that, I'll go ahead and update that, and we're going to go ahead and put on a little tracker for us.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get ready for that. So kind of around this, especially this kind of this heavier rainfall that we're looking at here. So here's your current rundown of those communities.
Okay, so again, you can see Mount Horeb is literally in the next couple of minutes at 8:10. We have New Glarus at 8:14, Cross Plains at 8:18, Belleville at 8:21, Verona at 8:23, Fitchburg at 8:27, eventually Madison about 8:33, Wanakee eventually 8:33 as well, DeForest at 8:41, and McFarland at 8:41. Again, the tornado warning goes in effect until 8:30, so by the time it's reaching these areas, Madison, Verona, and Wanakee especially, that's out of the box, but it could very well be updated. So we'll see as well. So I'm sorry. Okay, let's take a look at some safety tips and keep in mind what you need to do in case we do have you under the threat of a tornado. So this is all about finding your safe place. Where's the safest place in your given situation when there's a tornado threat? Ideally, underground shelter, basement, or a safe room is the place to go. By all means, even in any situation you are in, cover your head in case you have anything come down from above. Interior rooms or hallways are safe alternatives, but you just want to stay away from outside walls and windows. Put as much wall between you and the outside as possible. Lowest level, definitely the safest. You don't want to be on a second or third floor. Stay away from windows, as I mentioned. Get out of large areas, auditoriums or warehouses, anything that has a large roof. You don't want to be in that. Mobile homes, definitely not safe. Hopefully, if you're in a mobile home park, you have a shelter you can go into. You should do that. And if outside, just seek shelter, definitely indoors as quickly as possible. So those are the safe place tips that we have to give to you.
Yeah, definitely, and we are still continuing to track our tornado warning here until 8:30. The current time is 8:09. The first tornado warning was issued a little while ago for parts of Lafayette County. Those areas are still we're still watching a tornado warning in the very northeastern part of Lafayette County, but like we talked about, Dodgeville, Darlington in the clear right now as rain starts to kind of dwindle. That's a good sign there. But if you're in the reds, the yellows, all of that lightning that you're seeing, probably also producing some small hail. We talked about it earlier. We love hearing your reports. However, it's just too unsafe to do so right now because of how dark it is, the strong winds out there. If we do have any funnel clouds or tornadoes, they are likely going to be rain wrapped. So just be in your safe spot right now that we just talked about. That tornado warning, and let's take off radar really quickly so that you can see what's happening here. So that tornado warning does include, Let's go ahead and zoom in on some more areas. So Exeter, Blanchardville, into kind of the southwest sliver of Dane County, very close. I believe this also includes New Glarus there. This is until 8:30 p.m. So just showing you again that tornado warning, and it very well could be extended to other parts of Dane County. And if it continues on the path that it's going on, this could also lead into Madison within the next 20 to 30 minutes. So we do need to watch this very closely. Putting that radar back on. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning heading towards Rock County, so it looks like Brodhead starting to see a little bit of that light rain right now. Evansville, you have a little bit of time, but still, once that system gets a little bit closer to your area, you will definitely need to shelter with this strong system right now. So, and even we're picking up some whites on the Doppler radar there, kind of in the north. Western sliver of Greene County, likely indicating some hail there. And let's go ahead and put the hail tracker on to see if it's picking up on anything. Extremely hard to tell, and I'll grab my little clicker here. That is likely indicating about half-inch size in diameter hail there in kind of the southwestern sliver of Dane County. So that is something that we are definitely watching here as that tornado warning continues. We've also got some pinks there, so some very, very heavy rain with this system. And like I said, this does continue until 8:30 p.m. Let's zoom out and get the big picture yet again. This is a very, for lack of a better term, sloppy system here. It's not very well put together, but because the atmosphere has so much shear, that's what we call it, shear or rotation, there's still that severe threat that is sticking around. There's some instability as well. And actually zooming out, you can see this line actually extends pretty far south in the northwestern portions of Illinois. I do also want to point out there are other areas seeing rain, so kind of near Sauk City, Portage, the Green Lake, Marquette County areas into Mauston, the Dells. That is just non-severe right now. Some rain, likely some strong winds with that system there, but it's still something that we're watching. And I'm going to pull up velocity again just to see if we're seeing anything else that's alarming. Right now, I can't really see much of anything. I don't know if you can, Bob. But
yeah, I'm not seeing much there either, Alexis, from the velocity data.
Right.
Yeah, that's not showing much, but again, the National Weather Service has their analysis tools, and they've been seeing enough to keep the warning going. So.
Exactly. And like we talked about before, at this point, where we are with this storm is very, very far away from the radar site, so it's not going to do a very good job of picking up the rotation at a smaller kind of closer to the ground there. So if we're seeing at least even a little bit of rotation at any level of the atmosphere, and what we're showing you here is just one scan of the radar. The National Weather Service is able to make a scan. So kind of how the radar works is it sends out one beam at this height, then it sends out another beam at this height, and then another beam at this height. That's kind of how it works. So they have a good breakdown of what's happening at different levels of the atmosphere, and they're able to tell if...
Alexis, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning.
We
that includes,
certainly do,
Madison.
Yep, and that heads into Madison there. So let's go ahead and put our Doppler radar back on.
Why don't you bring it back to me now, and I'll help a little bit here as well, give Alexis a little bit of break. But again, this is the new warning that covers much of Dane County. Doesn't get into the eastern part too much, but it does include the city of Madison. As you get down towards Verona, you have McFarland in here, you have Oregon, and going farther to the north, you have Waunakee, all under the severe thunderstorm warning. And it says till 9 p.m., so I assume that is the latest with this. So we have about 45 minutes of severe thunderstorm warning. Now, one thing that tells me, since they didn't put this under a tornado warning, is this existing cell, they're not anticipating that it will continue with a tornadic threat, at least not enough to reach the threshold of a tornado warning. It might still have that threat, but just they are looking primarily at a severe thunderstorm, straight line wind threat, hail, and heavy rainfall and frequent lightning. Those will be the main parameters. But the cell itself is tracking very quickly to the northeast. talking to our director, if we can look at the Skycam again and just see what it's looking like out there. And this is looking to the west of Madison. You can see the belt line right here. Here's one of the big television towers. But you can see the lightning is out there, but we're well past sunset. And this is what makes it so difficult to really verify it. Did anything reach the ground? Well, it's completely dark out there. You really aren't going to see any kind of tornadic rotation whatsoever unless it's backlit by lightning. That's about the only way. There's quite a bit of lightning, and you can see that lightning that's approaching the west side of Madison. But that's kind of the scene we have right now. We can go back to radar and look at that situation. Again, there's a tornado watch that extends up through Madison and Dane County, so definitely the situation in the atmosphere is such that it's very unstable, and unstable enough that these storms could at least carry through Madison. They'll probably weaken as they go farther to the north. There's a warm front boundary that's just north of the state line, and that's been the trigger of everything. But when you get far enough away from the warm front, then you really start to lose the instability. But it's an impressive line, and it's not a clean line. A lot of times the threat will be, the line itself will be pretty smooth on the front edge and back edge, but we're seeing a lot of unevenness here. And that's, to me, indicating just a lot of rotation that's keeping it from being a smooth line, kind of a severe thunderstorm threat. But there it is overall, and the tornado watch, you saw the outline for a second there, but and that's here. It includes Dane County, Rock County, but it does not get to the north of Dane or Rock, and it extends back.
We do now have an update for that tornado warning.
Okay.
So they have canceled it for Lafayette and Iowa County, but it does now include a sliver of Dane and Greene County. So they are still kind of seeing some rotation in that area.
Is that what they're saying pretty much right now? Do they have anything else as a comment on that, or they're just seeing rotation?
They're just seeing some rotation there that they still feel the need to warn for. So and kind of looking at that velocity, there's a couple of notches potentially I could see where there would be that rotation. So zooming in here, Blanchardville, I would still shelter if you're in that area. Monticello, New Glarus, especially that area there, Belleville, and then that very tiny sliver there of Dane County that includes the town of Perry.
Yeah, so the tornado warning is being trimmed back, but we're getting severe thunderstorm warnings downstream from the thunderstorm line. And for the severe thunderstorm warning, are they keeping it as 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts?
They are. They do. I do still want to mention this does include the town of Madison, the capital there. There is a tornado possible tag. So all of these severe thunderstorm warnings have that tag, which means that there's a chance still that we could see some rotation with that system. But the National Weather Service does believe that that little triangle that you see there, that tornado warning, that there likely is at least a little bit of rotation in there. So make sure you're sheltering if that is the case. That those areas there, Perry, New Glarus, Blanchardville, I would still take that seriously there. And let's go ahead and put our radar back on.
Yeah, when they put this tag on, that means between a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning, picking between the two, the threat was higher for straight line winds and hail compared to a tornado. But what we've seen with this line of storms is initially they'll come out with a severe thunderstorm warning, but then they see enough rotation to upgrade it to a tornado warning. So even though it's a severe thunderstorm warning for much of Dane County, can't rule out the potential that we could have a tornado warning issued. But it's a fairly small area now. They continue to trim it back. They have not extended it. It's primarily a severe thunderstorm warning, and the wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Again, that'll cause some limb damage. You could put tree limbs on power lines and cause power outages, that sort of thing. But can we, I'll just put this into slow motion movement and just kind of track it a little bit here.
Yeah, just a very unorganized.
Yeah, it's just very unorganized. It's not classic by any means. I've seen a lot of these over the years, over the decades, and this one is definitely more of a challenge. But Brandon, I understand you have an update on power outages.
Yeah, Bob, Brandon Taylor here in the studio. You and Alexis are doing a phenomenal job keeping us informed. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a break so you can update some of that information. But we do have some power outages to report during these storms. Alliant Energy says it has more than 60 customers affected in Iowa County, more than 500 in Juneau County, and about 80 in Saw County. Oakdale Electric Cooperative says at around 7 o'clock tonight, it had more than 1,300 customers affected by widespread outages. Now, this was due to the Linden Station substation being down. The cooperative says crews are working as safely and efficiently as possible to restore the power. And I'm following along on our Facebook group, and it looks like there are a number of people in that Linden Station area, and power has been restored as of right now. Well, here's a full list right now of what you should do if you are under this tornado warning. Get to the lowest floor in your house, an underground shelter, basement, or safe room. If you don't have a basement, get to the interior room. If you're outside, get to a safe shelter. And at last resort, go to a ditch. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio or download the 27 Storm Track Weather app. If you have to step away from the television to get to the basement, take your phone or your tablet with you. We are streaming this live coverage on the 27 News Now app and on WKOW.com. All right, let's check back in with 27 Storm Track Senior Chief Meteorologist Bob Lindmeyer.
Okay, and good news, and if you're in Iowa County or also in Lafayette County, the severe threat has moved off to your east. Now the threat has shifted eastward, and it's over much of Greene County, especially the western half of Greene County, and more specifically northwestern Greene County. Small sliver of southwestern Dane County is where we have a possible tornado threat as well. But we have this large cluster of storms right here, and you can see them extending well to the north of Madison and Dane County. These are not severe. The severe threat's primarily here and down here, downstream of what we've had coming up from northern Illinois. That has prompted this warning that gets into western portions of Rock County, just to the west of Janesville. And it's this area of storms that have prompted the severe thunderstorm warning that covers much of Dane County, including the city of Madison. Again, it's wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, frequent lightning, very heavy rainfall. Don't be surprised if there's some ponding on area streets, especially in low lying, because rainfall intensities have been awfully high with this. And Alexis, I'm wondering if we can do a cross section. I'm not sure if our system will allow us to do it, but this is another analysis tool that we have.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to. Let me go ahead.
And it gives us the tops of the thunderstorms and the
right
like.
Here.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so what it's telling us is how high the thunderstorms are. And one thing that stands out right away, classic severe thunderstorms get up 40,000 feet, 50,000 feet into the atmosphere. These are really low-level storms. They're only going up around 20,000 feet or so. So what this is telling me is the winds are so strong aloft that the rotation is just causing everything in terms of a threat.
Speaking of rotation there for you, Bob, I do have good news. The tornado warning, it looks like, has been expired.
Oh, okay.
So
let's go back.
Yeah,
to,
let me just go ahead and grab.
They expired a little bit early.
Yep. So it's not going to be updated on our
system, but the
system
National Weather
yet.
Service has dropped it.
Yep, they have dropped it, and they do just want to let everybody know that damaging winds still remain likely. That severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for the area, and that tornado watch is still in effect until 10 p.m. as well. But I can confirm National Weather Service in Milwaukee cancels, or at least expires the tornado warning a little bit earlier. It was set to go through 8:30. It's 8:24 now. That's always good news, but we're not out of the clear yet. We do still have severe thunderstorm warnings with tornado possible tags, which means still rotation is there, and we do still have to kind of monitor that over the next maybe hour or so.
We do, but one thing we can do is stop our coverage now that the tornado warning has expired. If a new tornado warning is issued, we will come back on the air and go into extended coverage mode. If we get a new severe thunderstorm warning, we'll also come on air and let you know about that. But in the meantime, finally we're able to go back to regularly scheduled program. But Alexis and I will continue to track the storms, and we'll give you any updates that are needed.
We've got you covered. Stay with 27 News, WKOW.com, and our 27 News Now app for continuing coverage.
velocity and what the Doppler radar is able to tell from that. But it's definitely moving towards Evansville, and the leading edge is going to be moving towards Stoughton. Why don't we put communities within the path of this storm?
Yep, let me go ahead and zoom out. I know I do need to update really quickly.
Sure.
The speed at which this is moving, because this is starting to move a little bit quicker out there.
Yeah.
So going, just kind of grabbing this little area right now. Let's go ahead and track this out for you. And here are those communities.
Okay, so literally it's in the Oregon area right now, as it's going to be very soon in Evansville at 8:52. So Oregon now, Evansville at 8:52, Dunn at 8:55, McFarland at 8:57, Stoughton at 9:01, Cottage Grove at 9:05, Pierceville at 9:10, Deerfield at 9:15. We have Marshall at 9:17 and Lake Ripley at 9:20. So you can see these communities that are within this track. And so if you are within this area, you should be taking cover immediately. There is a threat of a tornado, nothing confirmed on the ground, but Doppler radar is very good at analyzing the rotation and picking up possible tornadoes. And there's enough rotation being shown on Doppler radar that the Weather Service has deemed it appropriate to issue a tornado warning. That's in effect until 9:15 this evening, so for about another half hour or so.
Yep, that is definitely right there. Yeah, that tornado warning in effect until 9:15. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 9:30. Current time is 8:47. Let's go ahead and take those off of there and just kind of, again, analyzing what's going on here. Taking
Here's
here's a look at your your Doppler radar here. There's a couple of little notches that I'm seeing in the line of this, and I think that's what the National Weather Service is worried about there. When you see those notches in that line of those line of
indentations, right?
Right.
And there's several of them, which is just indicating there's strong rotation within this storm. The wind shear, as we call it, which means the winds change direction with height, and that just causes rotation. And that's what we've had with the history of these storms as they, over the last hour and a half, as they've been moving into south central Wisconsin. We've just been seeing that rotation consistently, but definitely some rotation in here. There's some notching in this area and also farther to the north. Rutland, you're definitely under the gun. What we can do is just zoom in more closely on the warning, the tornado warning again, and just re-emphasize Stoughton is definitely in the path of this, as is Rutland, and it actually started to show rotation near Brooklyn, just to the south of Oregon, but Oregon's within this as well. Evansville just out of the tornado warning area, but you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. But definitely Rutland, Stoughton, Oregon are communities that are within the possible path of a tornado. Radar indicated, but it's dark out. It's going to be very hard to get verification if anything's happening unless it gets backlit by lightning. But what we've been seeing consistently is these have been rain wrapped. But there's definitely some rotation taking place in this area, and so it's supported.
Yeah, I'm seeing a little thing close to Rutland now.
Yeah, right
I think.
here. When we get the red and greens close together like this, this is indicating winds moving towards the radar and also away from it. And so that's indicating rotation. So yeah, we are definitely picking that up near Rutland. That's definitely a concern there. So if you live in Rutland, you should be definitely in your safe place right now.
Yeah, and I think if it continues on the path that it's going on, the area of Stoughton would be next. So if you're in Rutland, Stoughton, kind of that southern part of Dane County, definitely need to be in your safe spot right now, which of course we talked about this earlier, but in a basement is the best place to be. If not, an interior room, maybe grab a pillow just in case for any debris or anything like that. If you're in a mobile home, try to get to somewhere a little bit sturdier. And here's here's a look at what we talk about with your safe place. Make sure you cover your head, interior rooms or hallways, but of course the best place to be is going to be an underground shelter, your basement. Stay away from the windows, mobile homes, of course, as well. The big thing with this system that I'm noticing is, we talked about it. It's nighttime. It is dark out there. You don't want the lightning to give you a better show of what's happening. So we normally, a lot of times we'll ask for reports. This is a time, though, that we do not want reports from you. We want you to be in your safe spot. Don't even try to go outside. Don't even try to look at the window and see what's happening, just because it is just too unsafe to do so. It is dark. This is likely going to be rain wrapped. Now, we only have a radar indicated funnel cloud that we radar indicated rotation that could look like a funnel cloud. We do not have confirmation of a tornado or a funnel cloud or anything like that, but this system has enough of that juice, that energy, to provide that rotation, and a tornado could drop down from it. So we definitely don't want to take those chances, especially it's 8:51 at night. Just make sure, if you're in this warning here, take shelter. And I'm going to go ahead and put back on our radar, just to see what's going on. Definitely the Rutland, between Rutland and Stoughton are the areas that I definitely think need to be in their safe spot right now, which we just talked about with Bob, and also zooming out. A lot of areas, Madison, we can hear the heavy rain. We even saw some small hail parts of here in West Madison, but of course we're still watching that tornado warning, and it does look like we have some updates here. Okay, so Jefferson and Walworth County now have been extended into the tornado watch, Bob. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me at all, given the history of these storms. And just looking at the larger picture too here, I am seeing some purples, which indicate where there's some hail falling, and we do have that. I just want to point that out to our viewers. Again, almost all of Dane County is under severe thunderstorm warning, and one of the threats is hail. So you can see this area of purple. That includes the north side of Madison, going up towards Wanakee, Lodi. That is a spot where you're likely experiencing some hail, maybe large enough hail, 1 inch size, that can cause some damage. But we just have this whole line. You can see it here from just north of Madison, extending down into western portions of Rock County, southwestern Greene County. This whole line is generally considered to be severe, either the potential of rotation with tornadoes or straight line wind damage, very heavy rainfall. That's the other thing we want to emphasize here, is these storms are producing torrential rains, easily could pick up 1 to 2 inches total before they're all said and done. So I'm expecting some ponding on area roadways as well as they continue to track to the east-northeast. Now, as you get into western Dane County, you're in the clear, western Greene County in the clear as well. There's nothing coming in behind this. This is the line. So as it continues to track rapidly to the east-northeast at about 50 to 55 miles per hour, as they clear out, that's going to be it. But definitely under the gun right now as you get towards Stoughton, Dunn are areas that we're most concerned about right now.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up velocities again. I'm seeing still a little something near Rutland and the Stoughton
right here.
area. Yeah, so those are the areas that definitely need to be in their safe spot right now. Tornado warning until 9:15. The current time is 8:53, so another 20 minutes or so. And then we will also kind of just monitor the progression of this, because we just talked about it. The tornado watch has been extended to Walworth and Jefferson counties. I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah, why don't we see that? There you go.
Yep. I do want to also go ahead and note Iowa, Lafayette out of the tornado watch, because they are in the clear. So that is good news for them. But over a little bit further east towards Milwaukee, Jefferson, and Walworth County now under the tornado watch. Parts of Jefferson County under a severe thunderstorm warning, just about all of Dane County, at least our central and eastern parts of Dane County, all of Rock County under a severe thunderstorm warning. And I also want to take this time really quickly just to talk about the areas that are in the clear. So over towards Mount Horeb, things are looking good for those areas. Madison in the thick of it right now, and then of course those areas kind of near Stoughton. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in here. Oregon, McFarland, those areas there, kind of in the thick of this system. We do still have to watch for rotation there, but a lot of rain here in central Dane County, here in Madison, Evansville, getting really close to that area as well. We can see heavy rain about to pick up if it's not already raining heavily in that area as well. Just kind of zooming through Brodhead, seeing some heavy rain right now. Spring Grove, Orfordville getting very close to that heavy rain. So these are strong to severe storms. Some very heavy, strong winds as well. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Even if you're not in the tornado warning, you're still dealing with this heavy rain. A lot of lightning with this system. Let's put lightning back on here just so you can see. A lot of lightning strikes. Very electric storm here. That we are seeing, and just again zooming out to the big picture here. I believe we have a live camera coming our way.
Okay, you can see the spray being brought up by cars, and again, this is Verona Road and County PD, that particular intersection area, ponding has been happening. Any low-lying area with the rainfall rates we've been seeing with these thunderstorms, there could very well be some localized flooding in those most flood-prone areas where the roadways tend to dip a little bit. That is where you're going to see a lot of rainfall, and you got to watch out. You can hydroplane in situations like this. You definitely want to slow down your speed and keep that in mind. Visibilities are very low. If you can avoid driving within these thunderstorms, by all means do so.
Absolutely.
Because it is not a safe situation at
I
all.
do now have some good news to report. As of 8:56, our tornado warning has expired.
Oh,
That is
they
good
put it out.
news there.
Yes.
They are not seeing any more signs of rotation. I do just want to look at velocity just to be safe. And yeah, it does look like kind of those notches have sort of gone away. I'm still kind of watching maybe this area, kind of near Stoughton, maybe just north. I think that's what we're looking at here, Bob. Maybe for some rotation there, but they have expired the tornado warning. That is good news there, but we do still have severe thunderstorm warnings that we do need to take very seriously, because even if you're not in a tornado warning, I mean, Linden Station was not in any warning today, and they had power outages just because of how strong these winds are. And that's what we're continuing to see all across southern Wisconsin. But those severe thunderstorm warnings also here. And I'll go ahead and zoom out, just grab the warnings and the watches for you here. So there's still quite a bit going on here in south central Wisconsin. The light yellow that you see is the tornado watch. This darker yellow, that is the warning. So that does still include Madison, over towards parts of Jefferson County, all of Rock County, and this does go until, I believe, some of them are still going until 9:30.
9:30, yeah.
But the tornado warning has expired.
Right. Again, the tornado warning has expired. The main threat now under the severe thunderstorm warning is wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, which can cause tree limbs to fall, and that can cause power outages. We have very heavy rainfall, torrential rains causing ponding on the roadways. We have frequent lightning as well. But at least the tornado threat at this time has been discontinued. However, there's still a tornado watch that includes Jefferson County going towards Walworth, so we can't completely discount that we might see another spin up and possibly another tornado warning. But we're not under one now, so we're going to wrap up coverage at the present time. Alexis and I will continue to track the storms and keep you updated. In the meantime, though, let's return to normal programming.
We've got you covered. Stay with 27 News, WKOW.com, and our 27 News Now app for continuing coverage.